Leading edge right here, this Boeing segment right pushing close to Highway 43 in central sections of Franklin County. That's going to head right through Phil Campbell, so you expect wind gusts upwards of 60-70 miles per hour with that. So just like we said with the Limestone County storm, you need to get into that safe place and get to the lowest level of the home, an interior room, something without windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside of the home as you can. Even though we have not seen a lot of strong rotation with these storms, they are still producing damaging wind gusts, and that can be just as devastating as a low-end tornado. Well, good afternoon. Doing our best to try to stay warm out here. I am joined right now by Will from Scott's Orchard. Whenever we start talking about the Arctic cold coming here into the valley, and we are talking about temperatures cooler than that 27 there, I like to play a little game called It Could Be Worse. Check this out farther to the north into Montana and North Dakota. These are straight air temperatures. While satellites and modern radar like our own million-watt First Alert Doppler continue to improve and provide more accurate information, there's no substitute for a pair of eyes actually watching a storm. You see the deeper blues here just south of Waynesboro, so right along Highway 64. That's where the steadiest snow would be in our area, so it'll be along 64 here into Middle Tennessee, Fayetteville, Pulaski. That's where we're looking at some travel issues starting to develop here over the next few hours. But as far as things go for Florence and especially southward, I wouldn't expect any major problem. Well, thankfully not out personally in the elements, but yes, the 48 First Alert Storm Tracker certainly is. We have been driving, we were around Decatur, we drove the Beltline and then Highway 20 back into town. Didn't see any major issues. Well, already dealing with some scattered showers and thunderstorms out ahead of our main line of storms that we were talking about this evening. So Fayetteville, Tennessee, about to see some of the heavier rain shift right through central Lincoln County. Also a little shower here around 5 points, or about to track into 5 points, southern Lawrence County, Tennessee. That will move into Giles. But it's just to the north of here where our line of storms is. Severe thunderstorm watch posted for all of western and middle Tennessee, and it's right along I-40. We've got our line of strong to severe thunderstorms, and just within the last 15 minutes, we've seen a couple tornado warnings popped up. You can see the inflow right going into that storm, a little circulation right there. So there are some of these storms that do produce a little bit of rotation. Outside of that, a number of severe thunderstorm warnings already issued for these storms, with wind gusts upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour and quarter-size hail being the primary threat. So this whole line is going to be progressing off to the south and the east, and the most intense part of this storm line is actually what we were looking at, shifting right on into Middle Tennessee. So this will continue heading southeast and could be in the northern sections of Wayne, Lawrence, and Giles counties here within the next hour to an hour and a half. Beyond this, we're continuing to see the line forming up off to the west, and all of this activity has to drop south through the nighttime hours. But it is moving very quickly and should be out of the area within about 3 or 4 hours of it moving in. So let's pick things up here hour by hour. 11 o'clock, storms just about to get into northern sections of Wayne and Lawrence counties in Tennessee. From there, the line will drop south and it will be into Lauderdale and northwestern Limestone County in our North Alabama viewing area first. Likely that happens right around midnight. From there, our storm line will continue tracking off to the southeast. Now, it's anywhere you're looking at the reds and the purples right along the leading edge of this line where those storms would be at their most intense. So that's where you would be most likely to encounter the 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. The quarter-size hail is, again, right along the leading edge of this. But pretty quickly after the line shifts through, you're just dealing with some heavy rainfall. So at midnight, 12:30, the line gets into Florence. By 1:30, you're just looking at some steady rainfall with that storm line now around Russellville through Moulton, and then tracking on into Decatur, Huntsville, and Scottsboro between about 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. It will continue pushing off to the south and east, and by 2 to 3, we should see the most intense part of that storm line already getting into central Alabama and pushing out of northeastern Alabama. There'll still be a couple hours of some steady rainfall lingering behind that line, but once the initial line moves through, that's all you're going to see is just some steady rainfall. The severe threat will be over with within about a half an hour or so, an hour of the line approaching. So getting to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, just some steady rainfall left over, mostly cloudy skies, some drizzle or mist on your way into work tomorrow morning, but that should be about the extent of it. Right now, we're still unseasonably warm at the airport, 65 degrees. Our First Alert weather app, a great tool to have as these storms approach. You can always get a breakdown of the hourly forecast just like this on a quiet weather day, but tonight, likely that we will be streaming live coverage in the app. I don't think the storms will be intense enough for us to continue that coverage on the air on WAFF, but certainly if we see one of those spin-up tornado warnings, we will will break into programming right here on WAFF, but I don't anticipate that being a big issue tonight. Instead, more so going to be those straight line wind gusts that we're concerned with, and we could have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, we'll be covering that live in the app. Just open the app up and tap the red headline for details. For Friday, cool and breezy, rainfall developing late on Saturday. Sunday might have a few snow flurries or sprinkles early, but we should be drying out by Sunday afternoon. And then we'll look at mostly cloudy skies on Monday. Also, don't forget this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday morning, we set our clocks ahead 1 hour. So we've got the spring forward time change coming up. Unseasonably warm weather is about to come to a crashing halt. Temperatures much cooler as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the 40s and 50s, lows down around freezing, and beyond that, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning next week, could have temperatures down in the 20s.
So that winter, we were wondering where it was.
There it is.
There it is.
It's showing up just as we start spring.
It sure is.
Well, given all the ups and downs that we've seen with our temperatures this winter, I think the roller coaster analogy is still appropriate. We're at the base of the hill right now. Temperature today staying in the 30s for many of you. I guess those that are lucky enough might make it just to 40 degrees. Low 40s tomorrow, but after that, we do start warming it back up. Mid-50s Thursday into the 60s for Friday and the weekend. And then for the first day of spring, it will be feeling more spring-like with a temperature around 70 degrees. But tonight and tomorrow night, looking at a hard killing freeze. That means lows down in the lower and middle 20s, so you do need to take some safety precautions, as it's been a little bit more than a month since we've had temperatures this chilly. So the pets should be spending the night inside. Any plants that you've already got in the ground should be covered up, or you want to bring any potted plants inside if you want to keep them through the spring season. Use your space heaters safely. That means no extension cords. Keep the area around that heater free of clutter, and if you're going to be out, dress in warm, loose-fitting layers. It's the air in between those layers of clothing that help insulate you from the bitter cold. And temperatures, well, they haven't warmed up a whole lot today. 37 right now in Rogersville. We're at 38 degrees in Leeton. Tanner, 37 degrees. Right now, 36 in Scottsboro. Gunnersville, 37. 34 still in Rainsville. So a chilly afternoon across the valley. And you factor those winds in, and it is feeling like the mid and upper 20s in many spots. 28 for Florence, 28 as well in Moulton. Coleman, 29 degrees, feeling like 24 right now in northern Madison County, and 20 degrees right on the dot, the wind chill in Winchester, Tennessee. 37 at the airport, but well, it's feeling a little chillier than that, feeling like 29 degrees when you factor that north wind in of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Heading on through the rest of the afternoon and into tonight, temperatures dropping off pretty quickly after sunset, down around 31 by midnight, but that wind should also be letting up, so at least that wind chill factor won't be as big of an issue overnight tonight, but could still be down in the teens on Wednesday morning. To get this breakdown to forecast as well as our video updates, just head to your app store and search 48 Weather. You can download the app for free. Our million-watt first alert Doppler radar also in the app, but you're not going to see a whole lot on there. We had a few snow flurries coming down this afternoon. That's possible, but nothing widespread from a snow standpoint. Instead, skies just going to stay cloudy for the rest of today with that wind continuing. Temperatures in the mid and upper 30s still at 8 o'clock, so not a big temperature change between now and 8 p.m. But we will start to drop below freezing by 11 p.m. to midnight, and from there we stay below freezing with lows in the 20s. In fact, it's not going to be until around 11 o'clock or noon tomorrow that temperatures get back above freezing, so we're down below freezing for about 12 hours. Looking ahead at tomorrow afternoon, highs should make it into the lower 40s, but at least skies will be sunny, so there is a nice change of pace there. Our next weather maker brings a chance for rain in this weekend. Clouds will begin to increase on your Friday. Temperatures in the morning, a little milder than they have been. We're going to see readings warm into the 60s. Chance for rain showers by the afternoon. Looking ahead at Saturday morning, that's when the rain showers shift on through the valley. Dry by the afternoon hours, still low 60s for a high Saturday and Sunday. Back to around 70 degrees on Monday, which is also the first day of spring. Not seeing any indications of strong rotation, just very strong winds. Where you're seeing those blue colors, that would represent winds that are in excess of 60 miles per hour. So that would be our severe wind gusts right here along the leading edge of that cell getting into Limestone County. So this will be just on the north side of Athens. So Elkmont and Ardmore down the line here, that's where we're looking at the most powerful part of that cell moving through.